we'll get it turned up.
I can always talk louder, but I don't know about everyone else. I always got in trouble at school for being loud.
Not you.
I know.
I can't imagine. So you're ready? Okay. All right, so we're going to call the commission meeting to order this evening, and we're going to have Judge Gray lead us in the invocation, and Tammy Johnson, who is Commissioner Randall's sister-in-law, is going to lead us in the pledge. Please rise.
Let us pray. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day. We thank you for this opportunity to get together and conduct a business for the city of Aztec. Please be with these commissioners as they go about making decisions. Make sure that they truly understand what they're voting on and understand that the city is in good hands with them. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, Tammy. All right, so we'll have the roll call, please, Carla.
Mayor Pro Tem Syke.
Here.
Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Clerk.
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Mayor Burbridge.
Yes, thank you. Mayor Burbridge is actually in Charlotte, North Carolina, attending the National League of Cities with the Municipal League this week. So hopefully she's made it there by now. Her flight got delayed today. Okay, so now we have the agenda approval. Are there any items that need to be removed from tonight's agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Madam Mayor, move to approve this evening's agenda as given.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so now we have citizens recognition. Interim city manager?
None, ma'am.
Thank you. Any employee recognition?
I would just like to recognize the 10 veterans that the city has working for them right now. Just past Veterans Day. Just want to give a shout out to them, say thanks. We have 10 total that work for the city.
Wow.
Awesome.
Ditto.
Awesome. Yes. Thank
And
you.
that was a very nice thing that you did for the city veterans.
Yes.
It went out in an email that he was giving the city veterans an extra day, even though Veterans Day was on Saturday, a day that they could choose, right? With
Yes.
so that was very, very nice.
Yes, it was.
Very good.
All right, so now we'll move into the consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda will be voted on with one motion. If any item proposed does not meet the approval of all commissioners, a commissioner may request that the item be heard under items from consent agenda. Are there any items?
Yes.
No, ma'am. Oh.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to remove or pull item A for further discussion, please.
Item A,
Yes,
okay. All right, are there any others? Okay, do we have a motion for
Mayor.
the consent agenda except for that one?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd move to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item A.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay. So now we have item A, Commissioner Randall.
Yes, ma'am. I just had a question. Maybe it's for Larry or was discussing it with Steve and Carla a little bit. On page 4 of both of the agreements, it lists as the grantee City of Aztec, but it still lists specifically Josh Ray.
Oh.
And so I was going to ask Larry if I don't know if we have to have a name in that spot, or if it's a big thing we need to change now, or if we can just change it.
I had also asked about that. I called and I think Kathy's got the answer.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Sorry. Well, excuse me.
No, I was just...
We got the agreements after Josh had given his notice and such, and so but before Steve was signed as interim. I've already contacted Aging and Long-Term Services to advise them of the change, and so it's just a matter, I'll just
Okay.
type it out, change it.
Perfect. Okay.
On there.
I figured someone had caught it. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
it was all
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy.
I was just trying to save you some words, brother.
I caught it already. So.
Okay, so does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am, it does. does, thank
Okay,
you.
would you like to
Yes,
entertain a
ma'am.
motion on that one?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, Madam Mayor,
That's
whatever. I move to approve the NMALTSD agreements A16A5061 and A16A5062.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, thank you. Now let me get back to, now we have citizens' input. Are there any citizens signed up tonight? So citizens who wish to speak will sign up prior to the meeting, so if you haven't and you wish to speak, you could sign up now, and this is for items not otherwise listed on the agenda, and you have up to 3 minutes. So tonight we have Miss Jessica Anderson.
So Commissioners, Steve Mueller. My name is Jessica Anderson and I live inside the city limits of Aztec. I am here to comment on the latest development at the Aztec Senior Center. I'm sure you've heard from people besides me. First of all, I want to say that I'm here representing myself, not any organization. Several weeks ago, the contract that the Aztec Senior Center had with the Encore program at San Juan College was terminated. This exercise class had been going on for 5 or 6 years. I'd been attending it off and on for that amount of time, and was held on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour each of those days. 43 seniors were enrolled in the class, although not all 43 showed up at one time. My understanding is that this was a unilateral decision made by Josh Ray and Cindy. So you are left with the repercussions of this decision, and I'm sure you've heard from others besides me. In case you have not heard of the Encore program, it covers a wide variety of classes aimed at seniors in San Juan County, and they have a brand new catalog out as of this week, but this is last week's, and I just didn't know if anybody knew what it looked like or what it was. I have taught and attended several of these classes and will continue to do so. It covers a wide variety: exercise and geology and self-help and computer and just a wide variety of classes, all aimed at seniors. I emailed a letter to Steve Mueller and all commissioners and received a reply from 2 of you. Thank you. I had also written to Josh on May 14th because there was an uproar going on over the ceiling fans, which a minority created. The class, not our exercise people, but other people who go to the senior center. The class has been moved to Bloomfield, where we were warmly received. The vision plan for the city of Aztec, and I mentioned this, I think, in my letter to my email letter to interim manager Mueller and all you commissioners. I mentioned the vision plan, and there's 3 items that I felt applied to this. It mentions a safe, clean, livable community, and I don't want to go into detail on that right now, although I don't know if I'll have time. Effective local and regional partnerships. It's kind of obvious what that means. And encourages citizen involvement. So here I am. Obviously, this was not respected. That's my feeling. I don't feel like any of this was respected. I encourage all of you to visit all the senior centers in the area to see how others are operated. There is quite a difference in mood between ours and theirs. Frankly, I am very happy in Bloomfield, even though it is a drive to get there. And this is maybe not very nice, but frankly, I don't think that the Aztec Senior Center deserves to have an Encore class. But again, that's just my opinion. If the Aztec Senior Center or any part of the city, probably, I'm guessing, ever wanted to have another Encore class, it would have to start over from scratch with the Encore department. I'm not sure it's called the department, but it would go to the president of San Juan College, and then, of course, the whole issue would come to the commissioners who would decide if another class was wanted. I mean, not that it has to be at the senior center, but anyway, that seems to be the way it works. So I think I've covered everything, and you can just consider this statement that I've made as an objection to the process that took place. And I don't think you can ask me any questions, can you? Or do you want to? Or?
Madam Mayor, maybe just to let you know, I was asking Steve about it, and they are still in discussions with the college and Liesel to possibly reinstate the Encore program.
Yeah, we
Maybe
met
not that
yesterday.
class.
Oh, yeah.
And with the goal of reinstating getting the process started again, because I, for one, think it's a very important.
It is
program to
important.
have.
It is important, and the physiology, and I'm no expert on that, of seniors really needs to be taken into account. I mean, the air movement is really important when you're our age and stuff like this. And then what I'd like to do is set up a meeting with you if I can. But
Sure.
I'll do that by email.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I actually had this in my report for tonight, was as part of my report, but yes, that there are still discussions going on, and there are two sides to every story. So just keep that in mind, too. Thank you, Jessica.
I will try on that.
Appreciate it, thank you. Okay, so now we move into business items. So we have business item A tonight, and Kathy, are you, ma'am?
I didn't realize you had to sign up to speak. I was just going to ask if I could speak.
We can, yeah, you have to come and sign up on this. That's what I said before, before it started, but you probably didn't hear me. Here's a pen. I got a pen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I think there's a couple of us, actually.
Is there anyone else that wants to speak this evening? You'll need to sign up if you want to speak. Okay.
Okay. So Pam Guthrie?
Kathy.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Gathings.
I wrote fast.
I know.
I was trying to hurry because I was on the spot.
That's all right. Please come up to the podium.
I just wanted to introduce myself. I have a group over at the Hub, and we really like the Hub facility. A lot of us are from Bloomfield, so it's a little bit of a drive. It's a little bit of a drive for us, but Bloomfield didn't have a facility like this for us, and so we have an inventors group that's meeting there, and we have some inventions. And tomorrow we have Dr. Carl Stearns coming in with a class on how to make your own app, which I have no idea how you do it, but he says it's easy. He says it's click and drag. So that's tomorrow from 4 to 6 at the Hub, and we our inventors. We're fortunate enough to get connected with Sandia National Labs and Los Alamos National Labs. So we've got I have 3 small inventions with me. I'd like to show anybody afterwards. I don't want to take up too much time. And then all of us have larger inventions that require engineering that are being worked on at Los Alamos and Sandia. So I just wanted to comment on how nice the Hub facility is and how beautiful it's worked out for our group. And we're having coffee over there about once a month, and then we'll have, like a little bit of a formal meeting, like, Dr. Stern coming in tomorrow to teach. He's retired artificial intelligence, so he's a smart guy. And so anyway, if any of y'all want to come by, and thank you I just wanted to put in a plug for the Hub.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You. And you said from 4 to 6?
Yeah, from 4 to 6 at the Hub in the meeting room. We had started off in Bloomfield, but Bloomfield didn't have a wired place for us, and so that little meeting room in there is just perfect.
Good, great.
So
Good.
anyway, just put in a plug for the Hub.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you. Okay, so now moving on into the business item. We have an RFP 2018-630 interim city manager recruitment services. Ms. Kathy?
This is a representation of an item that was pulled from the last commission meeting. We issued RFP 2018-630 for interim city manager recruitment services, and this is an opportunity if the commission wishes to take action on the RFP to do so or not. And I think that's all I have to say about it, unless y'all have some more questions for me.
I can't think of any right now. Just, I guess, to let everybody know that Steve Mueller has agreed to continue as our interim city manager, which is part of the reason that we're addressing this tonight.
Right.
Just for informational purposes, so everybody knows. I don't know if there's anything else. Do anybody have any questions?
No, we're just happy that Steve decided to do that, so we don't have to go through the process, and then the new commission doesn't have to go through the process again. And after we heard from business people in the community that it would be smoother and less hassle, so that's why. And thank you, Steve, for
Yes, absolutely.
after his vacation and many meditative thoughts, I'm sure. He decided to go ahead and be a little insane and take the job, so thanks.
Well put.
Excuse me. Okay, any other questions?
No, I just gonna make a motion.
Entertain a motion, please.
Madam Mayor, Pro Tem,
Yes.
move to reject all proposals for request for proposals 2018-630 interim city manager recruitment services.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we need a roll call vote, Carla? No? Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. So now we go into, city manager, commissioner, and attorney report. And Mr. Interim Manager?
Just want to say thanks for the vote of confidence. Happy to serve. Looking forward to going forward from here. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Steve.
thank you.
Okay, so for my report tonight, since the mayor's not here, I do have a couple of things. I have EDAB and also MPO on Thursday, this coming Thursday, and then, of course, we have the Employee Thanksgiving Day dinner, so if you can all attend that, that would be great. The other thing is, I have talked to Steve about a workshop about the golf course with the owners of the golf course, with Mr. Hodge, with Kathy, with all of us, so we can kind of make sure that that everything's moving forward and that we're all on the same page. So I think Steve's going to try to work on getting that coordinated maybe before the next meeting on the 28th. So just a heads up that we need to talk about some stuff. The other thing is, I had the honor and the privilege to attend this last week, to attend my great-nephew's graduation from Army National Guard basic training. It was a very, I had never attended a military graduation before, so it was very nice. He looked awesome in his dress blues, and he's grown up a lot. I just makes you, when you see all these young people out there that have volunteered to serve their country, and all the ones that we have that have already served their country, it does your heart good, and it makes you so thankful for the veterans and for the country that we live in. We live in a great country, and hopefully we can all continue to support that and cherish it, because we need to, and to cherish our veterans. He's now going into biological, chemical, radioactive, nuclear warfare. So he wants to be a chemical engineer. So now that's what he is in training for right now, still at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So long drive. We did a road trip, so it took us 2 days to get there and 2 days back. Anyway, it was a great experience, and I just want to say again thank you to all of our veterans for their service. Last thing I have is, please everyone have a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving holiday. Enjoy your families.
Mayor Pro Tem, what was the date of the employee dinner or lunch?
It's this Thursday.
Thursday at
12 to
noon
1.
at the Electric.
Day after tomorrow.
Okay, so
At the
the week
electric
before
department.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If it was Thanksgiving,
At
I
noon
would
at the
show.
electric.
I'd be.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Rogers?
I attended the San Juan Safe Communities Initiative and the Water Board meeting. And
Water board?
The water,
Who's your water board?
the San Juan Water Commission meeting. Apologize for that slip up there. And
Just want to make sure we're not doing that in
yeah,
San Juan
right.
County. Okay,
my bad.
all right.
It was a little overwhelming, so I don't have a very good report for you, but I was warmly welcomed. I can't wait to pass that back to you. I attended the VFW for the Veterans Day breakfast, and I just wanted to commend the ROTC, all the people there that were great. They were so polite and professional. I haven't been called ma'am so many times. Yeah. And I got there a little late. It was still really well attended when I got there. I can only imagine earlier there must have been quite a crowd there. And with the potluck, the employee potluck, I know they're still waiting for quite a few people to help with side dishes. So anybody that hasn't yet that could, I'm sure they would appreciate that input. And my thanks to all the veterans as well. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Commissioner Randall?
I have no report.
And no baby.
No baby yet. That's about the only
Really?
report.
He's got two phones up here, though, and
Yeah.
he keeps looking at them.
Commissioner McClure?
Just a couple of things. I don't know, Steve, if you know the answer to this, but we had agreed to start the single-stream recycling at the Recycle Center, and I know Delane's not here, and I don't know who to ask. I know that we had decided to start October 1st as far as the billing and stuff, but I've been there a few times, and it's still not single-stream. It's better than it was, but still a little confusing over there.
I'm still waiting on information from the container that's going to be brought in. I talked to WCA last week.
Okay.
And we haven't set up a time to meet this week or next week yet, but we're on the verge of getting that new container in the yard.
Because that's part of the increase in the billing, right, is the single stream. Okay. I mean, it's better than it was, because the big things didn't used to be marked that well, but now glass has to go in a separate thing, and
Right.
so you still have to visit 4 bins.
We're condensed from what it was, but we're going to condense even more into that single stream container.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll be coming real soon.
Great, thank you. Also wanted to give a shout out, where obviously we have a street sweeper that works now. And it's awesome to finally see the streets being cleaned up on a regular basis. I mean, almost too regular, but I have to say, he's only doing the driving. I mean, this guy's hanging out. I mean, he gets so close, and he does a really good job. And I've seen this just on, I'm sure we're hitting the highway a little, even though we don't own it, but I've seen him in the residential areas, and I know everybody is real happy about that. And just to reiterate earlier, especially for you, Ms. Anderson, I was part of the meeting with Steve and the Encore gal Liesel, and it was a productive meeting. It was very productive, and they're looking into, and Cindy was there also, obviously, but, looking into other things that they can bring into Aztec after surveying the seniors there and seeing what they want there, so that's good, and we definitely want to keep our relationship with San Juan College open. This shouldn't, it should never be a total closed door, and it's not. So they are working, they are, talking, and that's good. And I think, all right, I'll do a side dish.
You're going to cook?
I know, that's the whole thing. And yeah, I hate pre-bought stuff too, but
I already did the green beans you get.
you did?
Yep.
Anybody who knows me knows I really don't cook, and even though they still want me to bring a side dish, well,
I think
okay.
you need rolls. You could probably,
Rolls I could do.
there you go.
Okay. So, anyway, again, this coming Thursday, and of course the following Thursday, the Senior Center, I'm sure Cindy will say something, but still needs donations, and then at the Senior Center, or Community Center at that point, they put on a Thanksgiving dinner that's open to everyone and free to everyone, and I've been the last 2 or 3 years, and they have music and stuff like, it's just great, because people get to come and go all day, plus they drive meals out to the people who cannot make it, and that's one of the great things about our Senior Center, is that we do that. So, that's all I have.
Turned it off?
Thank you, Mayor. You should turn it off. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I just have one more comment that I would like to make about the veterans, because there was a lot of confusion about the Veterans Parade that didn't happen this year. That was not the fault of the city of Aztec. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and we got raked over the coals for that, but it was not our it's not our parade. It's done by the veterans. They're the ones that have to request a permit from DOT to close the highway. And that process somehow fell through the cracks, but DOT did offer to come back and expedite the permit for them, but they chose not to do that. So, because they'd already told everybody that it was canceled and they were just going to do their pancake breakfast. So, I just wanted to put that out there for people to understand that, it's a state highway, so we can't just close it. We have to have DOT permission, and it's a permit process. So, just so you all remember that in the future, that even when we have a parade, we have to get permission from DOT. So, and get a permit. So, just so you all know that that's what happened to our Veterans Parade this year, unfortunately. So hopefully next year we'll have it back on schedule again. Mr. Thrower.
No report.
Okay. So do we have any department reports?
Good evening, Commission.
Good evening.
Interim City Manager. I'm going to try to make this brief, but as you know, it's the season, and it's a unique situation at the center. It is the senior center as well as the community center, so that provides a unique opportunity to have many events and to welcome many diverse groups. And so I've got a stack of events that we are not limited to, but this is what's happening currently. As Commissioner McClure mentioned, we do have the community Thanksgiving dinner. It is open to the public, and we do make home deliveries. So if anyone knows of a family who cannot make it, call, give us their name and address, and we will make sure they get a meal. And I want to say thank you at the same time for the employees of the city. They're the ones who sponsor it by providing all of the items. I panic at the last minute because I think people aren't going to sign up, but they always do. And so because I'm the cook, I get in this panic mode, but you always come through, and I appreciate that every year.
What is the time on that, Cindy?
11 to 1.
So on Thanksgiving Day, 11 to 1,
Yes.
anybody can come in.
And if you would like to volunteer, we always have room for that. We start at 6 a.m., taking the bones from the turkeys and cooking. So we have a lot of different spots for volunteering if you would like. Also, I sent out a flyer today for the city and commission. We're going to have a contest to decorate the center. And we're going with a white, country, shabby chic, rustic theme. So there'll be some really nice prizes. You can enter individually or as a group. You can come pick your section if you would like small or large or grand. So that's going on. There's a flyer on your email. And then December 9th, we have our craft fair. It's part of Aztec Sparkles, and it's 9 to 2. We do have booths open. So, and it's handmade crafts only. And then, of course, the Christmas dinner coming up, Christmas Day. That is also free to the public, and it's sponsored countywide, I believe. There's just so many sponsors. There are too many to mention. And they provide all of the food. And we don't take call-in lists for delivery. We just start delivering food all over town to employees working that day, apartments, neighbors, everybody gets a meal that day, I'm pretty sure, close to everybody. And then in January, we're having a fitness rally. It's called Ship Shape Fitness Rally. And we have vendor booths available for that. And that's just an awareness about health and self-improvement. So anything goes from yoga to essential oils to dentistry, whatever the community has to offer in the way of a health rally. And then, of course, in February, we have our Steamers and Dreamers Convention coming up. And just to remind you, all of the proceeds from this event go toward a Good Neighbors campaign, and that campaign is designed to promote kindness throughout the community. And we have an elite all-star team of dancers that every month, in lieu of participation fees, they go out into the community and do an act of kindness. So they're coming up with a list. I've asked for a list of these many things that they're doing right now. They're taking up food and clothing for less fortunate homes, families, through the holidays. And then we're also planning, mentioning the veterans, we're planning an information event, and it'll be vendor booths, and it's just information to get out there to the veterans of what opportunities are available and services are available to them. So that should be interesting, and that'll be sometime in the summer, around April. So if you know of anybody, please call us so that we can start planning on that as well. And thank you.
Thank you. Any other?
Good news first.
Thanks.
We took the food today over to Echo.
Oh, good. That's
It's due tomorrow at noon, so there's still time if you guys need to do anything. But I dropped off myself and Sherry Goulet, between the money, the turkeys, the food and everything, it was 1,960 pounds, which came to about 22.79 per employee.
Wow, awesome.
I think that's about where
That
we were
is
last
awesome.
year, maybe. And we kind of went one head and shoulders last year, so I think we were okay.
Gotta keep that little
Gotta keep that potato head.
Yeah.
thing there.
And I don't know if Steve was going to bring it up, but tomorrow between 11:15, 11:30 is when they're going to do kind of the winter type thing, if anybody can go to Echo. Depending on how long-winded the city attorney gets in hearings tomorrow. I'm going to try to be there. I don't know if I'll get out of court in time to get there, but anybody's welcome to go.
11 to 11:30, you say?
They said between 11:15 and 11:30, so whatever.
We'll probably be there about 11.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On the bad news side, for court purposes, I'm sure you guys know already that the county has raised the jail fees significantly starting in July. That's not my area of expertise, that's Kathy's. But along with that, I was in Albuquerque 2 weeks ago with an automation committee. For those of you that are not familiar, automation is a court fee that we pay into the state. Defendants pay to the court, which passes through to the state, and then that money is distributed to all the municipal courts to help pay for automation costs, which is software, hardware, our T1 line that we have to pay a part of. All of these fees, we get reimbursed from the state. That money's drying up because our court has slowed down a little bit, but all the courts within the state have slowed down quite a bit. So even...
But that's kind of good news, isn't it?
It is
There's more
until you
bad
want
guys.
reimbursed for your automation that we're required to have.
All right, I'm going to go commit a crime.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the problem that we have is our vendor costs for our software continually go up every year. And we're considered one of the larger courts in the state, believe it or not. And we're probably one of the top 20 contributors. And we only get back about 47% of what the citizen or the defendants contribute. We get about 47 back. The smaller courts that are still paying the same costs we're paying are getting 500% back because they're not having to deal with the same number of people we are. So I just want the commission to be aware that between the rising costs of jail fees, the diminishing fees from court costs, and the governor has already said she would not approve raising any of those fees. I don't know.
Are you hearing less cases, or?
Well, I think around the state, yes.
But like here?
More cases are being filed, less cases are being filed in the courts.
Some more of them probably at magistrate, you think, or?
No, I just don't think they're being filed.
Huh.
I don't know that magistrates any busier than what they were a year ago. But it's a trend around the state. It's not just our court for sure. It's, I mean, the larger courts, Farmington, Las Cruces, Alamogordo, they're all seeing a decrease.
And not to be confused with catch and release.
That's a whole different animal.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we don't deal with that quite to the point that district court deals with it. So, but that has affected us greatly on bond issues. So we're issuing a lot more warrants because we're just letting people walk out of jail because it's petty misdemeanor stuff at this point.
And they don't show up.
So, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Judge.
Thanks for bringing up about Echo. I was going to make myself another note. It's good to know. So thank you, employees.
So, good evening, Commission. I just want to let everyone know, both here and on YouTube, if anyone's streaming, this week kicks off our Metropolitan Redevelopment Area Study. And what that means at EDAB, the Consensus Planning Group, that's the firm that the city hired to conduct the study, will be at EDAB via Skype. They had a conflict in schedule, so they can't make it. But next week, next Tuesday, they will be in Aztec, basically boots on the ground, to evaluate the city. So I invite every business, property owner, those that are leasing, pedestrians, cyclists, anybody that has an interest in downtown and want to see it go in a different direction, please come out, please share your thoughts, because this study is really only going to be good if those who participate in the study actually make it worth something as opposed to just sitting on a desk somewhere collecting dust.
Is there a meeting
Stephen?
time and, oh, sorry.
Oh,
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, are you inviting them to come to the EDAB meeting?
Yes.
Or, okay.
So
Which is 8 o'clock Thursday morning.
8 o'clock Thursday morning,
here.
right here. So that was the whole point, that this group can meet various stakeholders at the table, literally. And then from after that, they can get an idea of what this group is about, what they're planning to do, and how they can take this study and actually transform the study into making downtown a different direction, if that's what they so choose. So 505-334-7605. If you're not here, get in contact with me, and we'll definitely put you in contact with them, because really they want to meet various individuals, and they want to get a taste of what Aztec is right now, and see what the public wants, and see how they need to tailor the study accordingly.
Can we get that out on the city app?
And on Nixle, is that something that we could put out on Nixle too?
Well, we don't have a city app.
The City of Aztec
We
app?
have Nixle and the website, so.
What app? Oh, I get little notifications from it all the time.
It should be, I don't know, I thought.
Yes, we'll get something out.
It's still there, but.
They left it,
Who left it?
the company that gave us the app, and the app's still up there, and so I'll still keep pushing it until Apple pulls it.
Oh, but Nixle.
So can we post to it?
Yeah. Anytime you guys send something, they send something, talk to Notice, I throw it out there.
All right, so can you throw it to Wallace so he can throw it up there?
And the last thing is this firm doesn't necessarily like to operate in meetings like this to get people's input. They actually want to go to various businesses, meet people in cafes. That's how they want to gather
Awesome.
their information.
Good.
So,
Do they buy?
do they buy?
Yeah.
Like if you're meeting
And
at
do
a
they tip
cafe,
well?
are they going to buy your lunch? I'll
they
meet someone
don't,
who'll buy
then-
lunch.
That's on them.
Yeah, that says something about the study.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Stephen.
Stephen. Okay, any other departmental reports? Okay, seeing nobody run forward, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
So, second?
Six? No,
Okay.
I think it's just.
Just, okay.
All in favor?
Thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.